Hi, and welcome to Rise, Heal, and Grow. I'm Leah M. Hill. This show is a podcast production of Apollo Sunrise Center, which is a health, wellness, and spiritual retreat center in Merrimack, Massachusetts. On this show, we shine the light on those who nurture wellness and inspire positive change. My guest today is Liz Elia. She is the founder of Whole Minded Health, focusing on advanced brain integration and energy-based healing work. Welcome, Liz.
Thank you so much for having me.
Thank you. I've been wanting to have you on the show for a long time, ever since we started. So I'm so glad you made the trek up here today so that we can talk all about your work, because it is so fascinating and so powerful. I want to just make sure that everyone understands what it is you do and all the many ways that you help people. But before we even get into that, I want to start with kind of where you got started. You have a background in all kinds of energy healing techniques and modalities like Reiki and yoga and kinesiology and shamanic healing. How did that all bring you to where you are now?
Oh man, I started, the gateway drug, I call it, was Reiki.
Reiki, yes, as it is for many people, yes.
And I just loved how it felt and the state that it brought me to of a higher level of consciousness.
Yeah.
And when I learned Reiki, I was able to help my own issues with IBS.
Oh.
And so I'd wake up in the middle of the night, and instead of reaching for a Tums or any other remedy, I would just put my hands on my belly and Reiki myself and fall back to sleep. Wow. So that is where I kind of started my own self-healing journey. Mm-hmm. And then yoga came along, and I practiced yoga for many years, and I noticed that I was having a lot of panic and anxiety from having IBS.
Yeah.
And the yoga actually dropped my panic and anxiety episodes way down. And so I knew there was something else out there that would help more specifically for the mind, the brain, and then I found brain integration after a few years of just looking for it.
Yeah, and it's not very common. A lot of people are more familiar with Reiki and certainly yoga, but finding brain integration technique is really sounds like it was meant for you with how you, you can explain what it is, but how it integrates both energy and the body and the mind and the brain, all those things together. But maybe you can explain that.
Yes, well, I was looking for this magical thing that didn't exist in my world. In Boston, Massachusetts, there were no people doing it, and I looked for many years for flyers at cafes and bookstores, and finally a friend of mine said, "Oh, I'm doing this thing called brain integration," and it didn't even hit me that was something that I needed. And I went for my first appointment, and I walked out, and while I was walking down the street, my eyes were just completely different in seeing the world. I'd look at somebody as I passed by them on the street, and I looked at them in their eyes and smiled. And it used to be that I would shake and look away and be really shy. And it just completely changed who I was after the first session.
One session?
Yes.
That's amazing.
Just a huge shift. And it was only a couple balances that she did on that first session. And those were so important that they just kind of got me grounded and in my body.
Yeah.
And then after that, I got the rest of the integration done, and the changes were so profound over the next few months. Mm-hmm. The process of brain integration takes approximately 8 to 12 hours, and it's spread out over 2-hour sessions.
Okay.
And so I went maybe every few weeks to sessions, and every few weeks there was just these huge landslides of change happening in my life. Wow. And
when you can notice things like that immediately after a session, like you said, being able to, look someone in the eyes and greet someone where before you would have retracted or felt uncomfortable doing that, or uncomfortable with talking to strangers or meeting someone new, that is profound, because that's something that probably a pattern you've had your whole life.
Exactly.
And all of a sudden it's like one day after the first session, you have such a dramatic transformation.
Yoga took several years of that type of practice. it was breathing and being in the room on a consistent basis, and it really transformed me. But when I went back to yoga after the first brain integration session, it was like a whole new level was unlocked in my yoga practice.
Yeah, it's like you were a different person, maybe.
Yeah. Or more myself is what I like to think.
More of yourself. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I like that too. Wow.
You take on a lot of the world's fears and expectations, and then when you can kind of let go of the stress of what you've accumulated that isn't even yours, it really does free you to express yourself in new ways on the planet.
So can you talk a little bit more about what a session might be like in this brain integration? I know that, like you said, there's many of them that actually get you through the process, but what does a client experience?
When you come in for your session, for your first brain integration session, we do a little bit of an assessment on you. We look into how you're reading and if you're comprehending what you read, how your memory is, how your body moves. It's a very quick assessment. And then you lay on a massage table that we make very comfortable for you. We put pillows and blankets and you're fully clothed. And you lay there as I speak to your muscles, actually. Oh. I use a muscle test. This is a form of kinesiology that's called energetic kinesiology. Okay. And they tell me what I need to know about you. And as I'm working, I'm using your muscle to talk to your subconscious and bringing up what your body wants us to know. So my itinerary is usually out the window of the session, and it's the person on the table.
So it's sort of in the moment.
In the moment.
You have sort of a plan that you start off with, maybe with your client, but then it's in the moment based on the energetic kinesiology, right? And then, so the kinesiology, you said, is a muscle testing process. Mm-hmm. And so it gives you the information you need, is that right, in order to figure out what the client needs next? Is that how it works?
Brain integration has a protocol to it. Okay. So I'm working on specific parts of the brain where it's as if I'm looking into a car engine. Mm-hmm. I always use this metaphor. I want to know how points A and B are connected. Is there any stress between the different areas of the brain? I want to look into the very specific parts and see how they're functioning. And so my agenda is to get through all of these points in a protocol. But as I'm doing that work, so many different parts of the person are coming up. It's like no two people are ever the same. So I never know what to expect. Right. So even though I'm doing the same protocol with people, there's so many different aspects and different patterns that are revealing themselves for the client.
Yes. And I had the opportunity of experiencing this myself with you, Liz, and it was profound. I mean, I've come to you for several sessions. I don't know if it's 12 yet, probably not, but we're working our way up there. And I came to you kind of like what you just described. I came to you for, a specific issue that I was having, and you not only helped me with that and resolve that issue, but there were all these other things that came up. I mean, something as simple as, knowing that I wasn't drinking enough water, because I do always drink enough water, but I guess I wasn't, I was just drinking it plain. I needed some minerals or something in it to help me absorb the water better and help my body do that better, which is fascinating that you can tell that from that kinesiology.
Water's the first thing I look at with everybody. Okay. It's like you get on the table and I say, all right, how's the water in the body? And once we can address that, all of the information will flow much more smoothly. Because water is really the source of connection of the energy in your brain and in your body. Yeah. And so coming in, checking your hydration. Everybody who comes in is like, oh, what are you going to say today about my hydration? I've been drinking water. Right. Like I'm the water police. Right. But
well, you can tell,
Yeah. The imbalance of water in the body really does tell me where the stress is being held in the body. You could be drinking plenty of water, but say you're really stressed out. Your adrenals could be working so hard that they're not stopping long enough to absorb and take in water.
Oh, I see.
So you could be chugging water, but it's not reaching the areas of stress, because the stressed areas go into this state of almost like a fight or flight. And they stop their digestion. They go out of digest and rest mode into fight or flight mode. So when something's working really hard, different parts of the body take on stress and they don't allow energy through. And sometimes they get stuck in that mode. So what I do when you come in is just take your whole system and bring it back to baseline so that we can work on deeper issues.
And then you can start the work. Yeah,
exactly.
Definitely. So what are some of the issues or concerns that your typical clients come to you with?
It's different for everybody, but for children, it's usually difficulties with learning or emotional regulation or social situations.
Okay, so you work with adults and children as well.
Brain integration was created for children with learning difficulties, but I found that you don't need learning difficulties to benefit from brain integration.
No.
The adults that I work with just come in just wanting improvement in their lives, wanting to figure out why they're so stressed all the time or what's blocking them in achieving their goals. So everybody who comes in has a different kind of story of what they're looking for, but it's generally just a sense of wanting to get past whatever is causing them to feel stuck in life.
Yeah, and I remember one of the things in particular that you helped me with in one of my sessions was about the switching of my brain, the left hemisphere, right hemisphere. There was sort of a little skip there when I had to switch from one process to the other. And I had no knowledge of this except that when you described it to me, then I was like, oh, now it makes total sense of, different ways that has helped me since then, different ways that previously I would have gotten stuck in that transition. That again, how would I have ever known that without the brain integration technique? So you can really uncover a lot of sort of, not just hidden issues, but things that are affecting people's lives that they don't realize.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
We have these roadmaps in our brains that we live with from, the day we're born. We're born kind of as a blank slate.
Okay.
And as the brain develops over the first 7 years of life, it's like you develop this highway system, this major roadmap of how you get around the obstacles of life. And you don't realize that you're carrying stress from when you were an infant.
Right. We don't think of that normally.
Exactly. You've adapted. You've found different ways to get through stresses in life, but you don't realize that you're subconsciously still holding these reactions to day-to-day things that you're not even aware of.
Yeah, that's so fascinating. And so would you say then if we're under stress, do these patterns get deeper or do we get more stuck in our patterns when we're in stress, or is it just when we're stressed that these patterns tend to trip us up?
It's such a good question. It's like the chicken or the egg.
Yeah, I don't know.
But, the more stress, I see people really do get stuck into their stress modes in life. They don't know how to get out of stress and just take time to breathe. Yeah. And so, yes, the more you stress, the more the habit of stress and the pattern of stress becomes just part of your daily routine, like brushing your teeth.
Right.
And then after a while, you don't even realize how much stress you've accumulated because you've never given yourself time to just breathe and relax and
let it go. Yeah. And I did find that as well when I've come to you for the sessions, is that it is very relaxing for me. I'm lying on the table, fully clothed, and you're doing the muscle testing, but it's also interactive. So you're asking me questions, you're asking for, what I'm feeling, what I'm sensing, what I'm seeing every step of the way. So it's not like, when I've experienced Reiki or received Reiki, it's like you're just lying there and the energy is coming into your body and it's happening to you. But this is very interactive. You're getting constant feedback, not only from my body, but from me and how I feel about things. Is that right? Okay.
And for adults, that's why adults take 12 to 16 hours to get through the process because we're constantly exploring. It's so much fun.
Yeah.
Especially for people like you. You're so intuitive and like, ooh, what's in here and what's down this road? And we're digging and it's so exciting. For children, though, children are much faster and more simple to integrate because they come in and they're playing with a little fidget toy. We're listening to music. We're talking about literally nothing that has to do with what I'm doing in their brain. So talking about what's happening on the table isn't part of the requirement of the process. And so children do the process really quickly, get them through, send them on their way. And then I get the reports that, they're so much more confident now. They're interacting with other kids. They're exploring new things in sports. And it's just wonderful because you don't need to have that conscious interaction. But with adults, I say that it's like I'm bringing things up from your past to show you why you're doing the things you're doing today.
Right.
And sometimes I'm even linking it to your, what you've inherited through your epigenetics, through your patterns that you've inherited from your parents.
Right.
And their parents.
And their beliefs and their, And
kids don't care about that.
Right. Well, they're just there having this interesting interaction with you and not even realizing it. But
some call it a brain massage.
Oh, really? I like that.
It's cute.
I like that because it's also very gentle, too. It's a very gentle process. And so do kids come to you before a big stressful event, like they have a test coming up in school or a big sports event or anything that they would maybe need a session with you before that?
Absolutely. So the integration works to really enhance someone's base level. But once you're integrated, what happens after that is called test drive. And so it's like, what's happening in your life? Is your brain integration holding up in the real world? And so kids will often notice, hey, I'm feeling good, but I have this big event coming up and I'm feeling nervous about it. And so they'll request to come see me to help them feel better about something that they're nervous about. So, life isn't perfect. And your integration, needs little follow-ups afterwards. So sometimes people check in after the brain integration, once or twice a year. Sometimes people just love the exploration of it and come in. I've had clients come in for many years.
Yes. That would be me. I'm like, ooh, what are we going to explore today that's going on in this mind?
You are integrated. We finished your integration. Now we're just having fun.
Okay. Now we're just exploring. And that's great. That's great to know. Thank you. So I know that some people might be skeptical of the idea of this energetic kinesiology that you use. Is there anything that you can offer that might help someone who's, skeptical of that to help kind of bridge that gap between, where this modality kind of stretches from energy to science, energy, anatomy, operations of the body and the nervous system, all these things that are kind of all put together?
Well, your muscle is connected directly to your reticular activating system.
Okay.
And your reticular activating system is part of your brain stem that tells you what's going on around you. And it's aware not just of what you can see, but far, far beyond what you can see. So for the skeptics, I wouldn't talk to them about the super consciousness that your muscle can talk to me about. But for skeptics, I would just say I am using the muscle to talk to your body, and I would leave out the part about chakras and, stress carried from previous generations and just talk about the here and now.
Okay.
I'd also have them look at my Yelp reviews and see that other people have benefited. And you don't need to believe in this or understand it in order to benefit.
Well, that's good to know.
Yeah. And I have this one woman is bringing her husband who's, I think, about 80 and has never done anything like this. And his whole life has changed in a matter of weeks.
Really?
And he came in as the biggest skeptic. And now he's just a different person. I have him doing breath work every day. I have him paying attention to his emotions and just being conscious of how his mind is working every day. And she's just stunned that her skeptic husband is asking to come see me every week.
That's fantastic. And that goes to show, too, because yes, you can experience, like you did, a dramatic shift after your session or after your first session, but you also give some homework and some exercises as well to help, I guess, the brain integrate it, right? Integrate the new learning or the new pattern.
Yes, and it's also giving your life room for your own healing, because I can help you and give you the tools, but if you don't change the patterns, you won't experience the changes in your life.
Yeah, that makes sense.
People have to do a bit of their own work and make room for their own healing. And, I'm not doing something that is going to change your habits. People have to change their own habits and routines, especially older in life. They're so ingrained. When you make these small changes, they just add up over time.
Yeah.
And
you even talk about, how what you do is you're holding space for the deepest parts of people. So I love that, because it doesn't mean you have to be a believer in the energy piece of it, or you can be skeptical, because it doesn't matter. However the client, sounds like, comes to you, it doesn't matter how they come to you, that you meet them wherever they're at, and you're holding that space.
It's perfect. That's exactly what I do.
I love that.
I just tell people, come and try it, give it an hour or two, and see how you feel. There's no pressure. If it didn't do anything for you, you don't have to sign up for the whole 8 to 12 hours.
Oh, that's important to know. Thank you. Yes, that's right. That's good.
And some people just come in for 1 or 2 sessions.
They can just try it. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And sometimes those people come for 1 or 2 sessions and I never hear from them. And then years later, they'll say, oh, remember that time I came to see you? That changed my whole life.
Oh, and then
and after that, and then I hear about it years later. I said, oh, it wasn't for them. And then I hear that it was.
Yeah, you find out later.
Exactly.
That's funny. Well, even with this muscle testing that you do, you can also offer this remotely as well. How does that work? Over like Zoom, or how does that work?
The phone. I prefer the phone.
Okay.
But remotely, I use my own body as a surrogate for the person, and it's using the premise that we are all energetically connected. So I've worked with people who've moved out of Boston and have moved to other states, and I've been able to help them and with kind of emotional things that are coming up in their lives.
Yep.
I've been able to work with people in Japan who I've never met before.
Wow.
And I have this, group of people in Japan who found me, and one of them said after her one session that her daughter's behavior changed and her mother's behavior changed. So it was that
one session.
Yes, that epigenetic link that
I
shifted.
see. The client was only one of them. Was the daughter?
I worked on the woman.
The woman, okay, but
we worked on
the effects had in both sides of the lineage. Her daughter
exactly.
and that is fascinating.
And it's just one session.
In just one session. Wow, that's incredible. I love that. And so I know that we can talk a little bit about where you practice besides remotely over the phone. So you work with people anywhere in the world over the phone, but also in person.
In Newton.
Newton
Center, yes.
Yep. And
I don't do the brain integration protocol on the phone.
Oh,
I do the kind of emotional work on the phone, a lot of people I've worked with over the phone do get the same benefits as brain integration, but officially the protocol and the process of brain integration has to be done in person.
Okay,
and
that's in person.
People do come in from out of state and come for 2 or 3 days and just do the whole thing in 2 or 3 days.
Wow, just to work with you, yeah. Because I don't think there are that many practitioners in the area, right? In Massachusetts?
So in Massachusetts, we probably have about 5 practitioners.
Okay.
And across the country.
That's not very much.
Yes, under 100 across the country. There are other people in different corners and pockets of the world who do this work. But we are really hoping to get more and more people trained in this work. You don't need to be a special energy healer to be able to do this.
That's good to know.
Yeah, you learn the protocol, and as you do this protocol, you learn as you go.
Okay.
And so we're working on getting more people trained, and ideally would love to have a brain integration practitioner in every community, at least one, because we'd love all kids to get the integration done, just to give them that boost before they,
Definitely. Right. So if someone watching or listening today was interested in learning more about becoming a practitioner, is there a website they can go to or
yes,
a place they can find it?
The website for learning about how to become a practitioner is fullspectrumbrainintegration.com. That's all one word.
Okay, fullspectrumbrainintegration.com.
Yes.
All one word. And they can get all the information and the training information from there, because you did, when you were learning or getting certified, you had to do case studies and learn from the case studies, right?
So that's one of the best things about the training for brain integration is that you have to do an extensive amount of case studies. And while you're doing the case studies, you're changing people's lives. And as you're changing people's lives, they're sending more and more people to your door. So this is the one modality where by the time you're out of the training, you have a practice that's ready to go.
Well, and that's what happened with you, right? As you were learning and built up, your clientele just from doing these case studies, that when you were ready to open your business or, say, here I am as a practitioner and all certified, you already had a client base.
It was wonderful.
Yeah.
It was people already were spreading the word, and that happens to a lot of the students who we see all over the country. They're a little bit apprehensive, like, I don't know if I can do this.
Yeah.
And then we say, just do your case study hours and you'll have so much more confidence. Just
Right.
apply the technique, and people are amazed at how quickly, even after their first few sessions, how they're able to help their friends, their family, their communities. And the ripple effect is just amazing.
Yeah, and that's great because, like you said, you don't need to have any special abilities. It sounds like you don't need to have a background in medicine or science or anything. You don't need to be an energy person or an energy healer. It's really just for anybody who is interested and really wants to learn this practice.
Learning the word brain really turns a lot of people off.
Yeah, I could see that.
They get really scared and they say, I don't know enough to work with brains. But it's a very easy process to learn how to do, and
it's not like getting a medical degree or anything like that.
And it blends well with so many different modalities, like massage therapy, coaching.
Right.
It just can really enhance your existing practice. And I've started with brain integration and built a lot on top of that.
Okay.
So I do about 13 other modalities on top of brain integration that I weave into my sessions.
Oh, wow.
So I start with brain integration. That's the foundation for all the people and all the work that I do. And then I just weave in all these beautiful other modalities in, and it's just so creative. It's wonderful.
That's great. And so for looking a little bit ahead into the future for whole-minded health for your business, is there anything that you envision or you have plans for in the future? Or more modalities aside from 13 that you mentioned?
I love learning. I've developed my own techniques as I work. But really my goal is to spread the foundation of brain integration to the rest of the country. I feel like this is such a wonderful tool and it needs to be in the hands of the people.
Yeah.
And my partner Nancy and I are Full Spectrum Brain Integration, and she's the main teacher.
Okay.
And she is a fabulous teacher and has taken over the modality. Susan McCrossin, the originator of Crossinology Brain Integration, has retired and handed it to Nancy. And so we just want to give the gift of brain integration to the world and get it out there.
Yeah. Well, let's do it.
So I'm at wholemindedhealth.com. That's my practice.
Okay.
And then fullspectrumbrainintegration.com is learning to become a practitioner.
Okay. So that's more of the certification program. But
Yes.
whole-minded health is to find you and receive and to try it out. So even if anyone is just hearing about this for the first time today and curious, probably a good idea to come and get a session from you, or to, probably to come in person is probably best.
And it's required now. It's always been required, but if you're going to become a practitioner, you have to be fully integrated to be in the class.
That makes sense.
It's hard to teach. It's hard to teach people these concepts if you're not integrated first.
Right. But that just makes it better and easier that anybody can do it, definitely.
Exactly.
So for anyone out there who might be, curious but maybe a little nervous about this idea or kind of feeling stuck and not sure where to start, is there anything that you can offer someone about, okay, just start with this, try this one little thing first?
So I would love to just suggest the technique of the frontal occipital hold to people.
Oh boy. Okay, what's this?
It's literally as easy as holding the forehead and the back of your head, right? So I'm holding the frontal eminences.
Okay.
These are the emotional stress points. In the back of the head, I have my hand flat against the line between the skull and the neck. And just holding, if you're stressed out and you're wanting to balance yourself to a certain pattern in your life, you just name it out loud, really feel into the stress of whatever you're dealing with, and just hold your head. And I know this sounds a little bit too simple to be true, but it does work when you bring to consciousness and allow yourself to name the stress of what it is you're facing, and then just holding your head.
It sounds so simple.
It is so simple, but it's like a balancing of the polarities.
Yeah.
The brainstem and the frontal lobe, and we're letting energy kind of release from the reptilian survival in the back of the head, and then bringing blood flow to the frontal cortex and the frontal eminences. So that's just one of the techniques we use to just help release the stress.
Okay.
And I always tell people, if you're in a state of high stress, and you just take a breath, name what's happening, name the emotion, and hold frontal occipital. And so it's as gentle and easy as that. And when you're working with me, I'm just digging a little deeper. And bringing to consciousness maybe emotions that you weren't aware of or patterns that you weren't aware of, and then just allowing your body to release them. So there's nothing forceful about it. It's so gentle.
That's so gentle, simple, easy. Anybody can do it. I am going to practice this myself because I just find that I'm always needing something like that when I'm stressed and I'm in it. I just need something quick, easy, that I can remember to do right away. Thank you for sharing that. That's so important.
Let me know if it helps you.
Yes, I will. Definitely. And thank you for being here on the show today. This was so wonderful to have you. And so people can find you at wholemindedhealth.com, right? And then also on social media as well?
Yes, Instagram is Whole Minded Health. And if you're interested in the training, fullspectrumbrainintegration.com. And just reach out to me. I'm here, and send me an email or a text. The number's on the website. And if you have any questions, I'd be happy to talk to anyone who's interested.
Wow. Thank you so much, Liz.
Thanks for having me, Leah.
Thank you. I learned so much today. This was great. And thank you, all of you, for watching or listening here today on Rise, Heal, and Grow with Leah M. Hill. Please like, share, and comment, and subscribe on whatever platform you're joining us on today. And come back again and check us out again, because we have lots more episodes coming up.